Like a lot of people during this time in the world's history, I've been baking a lot of bread lately. Yesterday, I baked an excellent loaf of bread. I was going to show it to you, but I ate it instead. And so instead, all I have is this book. Now, bread baking, especially fancy artisan bread baking, is very different from other kinds of cooking. You open up a book like this, and you don't find traditional recipes. There's no eyeballing ingredients. There's no a pinch of this and a pinch of that. There's no to taste. Instead, it's all very scientific and abstract. Instead of traditional recipes, you got these complicated formulas and percentages. You got to think about hydration. You have to plan everything ahead of time. You have to measure everything very precisely, take notes. And when you're in the middle of all that, it's very hard to see what in the world all these procedures and percentages have to do with bread. And sometimes cooks, very good cooks, will look at bread instructions, a book like this, and they'll say, well, I can just wing it. I could eyeball it. I'm a cook. I'm a good cook. So they chuck the book and they make it up as they go. And how do you think the bread turns out? Well, I can tell you from my own experience, it doesn't look like this or like this. When you're reading a baking or a cooking recipe, all those instructions and ideas and principles can seem very abstract and not really very connected to food or eating. But once you start actually getting to work in the kitchen, all of those strange ideas become very concrete. Most of all because you learn very quickly that failing to follow them can have disastrous consequences. This is why I love teaching ethics. See, ethics is where philosophy meets life. The principles that we discuss in a philosophy classroom can sound very vague and totally unconnected to our everyday life, but ethics, applied ethics, is where we learn how those big ideas bear on the nitty-gritty details of our lives. After all, ethics is something we all have in common. We all have values, criteria by which we judge what's important in life. We all have convictions, rules that we dare not break. We all have roles, parent, child, caregiver, employee. And we all have good habits we'd like to develop and some bad habits that we'd like to break. And when you take all of that out of your personal life and extend it to your workplace, then the applicability of ethical principles increases exponentially. And the cost of failing to follow those principles does as well. That's what this class is about. That's why this class matters. I want you to approach this material in this class, Ethics of Health and Human Services, not as a set of rules to memorize and repeat by rote because your grade or your degree or your reputation depends on it, but a set of principles to internalize deep within, a recipe for life and work. I really look forward to getting to know you all and going on this journey with you. Please don't hesitate to reach out. This is Instructor Jacob Andrews signing out. Thank you.